Cold camping. Embrace the elements and travel light. When most people think about camping, they imagine warm weather and cozy campfires. But what if you could experience the wilderness during the cold months? Welcome to the world of cold camping, a style of camping without external heat sources like wood stoves, heaters, or fires inside tents. Cold camping, as the name implies, requires minimal gear, which is ideal for those who enjoy traveling light and fast. There's no need to haul around bulky equipment, and the setup and takedown are much quicker compared to hot tenting setups. While hot tents, with their wood stoves, offer luxury and comfort, they come with added weight and effort, especially when traveling in harsh conditions. After all, hauling a heavy sled up a steep hill is no easy task. That's the beauty of cold camping. It's faster, lighter, and requires less maintenance. For those who prefer to keep it simple, cold camping can be just as enjoyable, if not more so. You can create your own fire pit and have hot water in no time as the sun sets. There's something about being around an open fire, feeling the warmth as you gaze at the stars, hearing the sounds of the wilderness, and knowing that you're out there on your own. Plus, you don't have to worry about the confinement of a tent. Get up, stretch, and work out the kinks after a long day of trekking, while cold camping sounds freeing. It's important to note that it's not actually cold if you're prepared. One of the joys of cold camping is the ability to build a fire for warmth and comfort. Imagine tucking into a grove of old conifers, gathering dry wood, and living with fire. Wood warms you 3 times: when you gather it, when you cut it, and when you burn it. So, embrace the challenge. Get cozy around the flames and experience nature in a way few others do. However, cold camping isn't without its risks. Without a warm shelter to retreat to, you'll have to rely on your skills and equipment. Extreme cold camping is often done with nothing more than a backpacking stove, especially above the tree line, or in places where the wind can be intense. Some also opt for shelters like igloos or trapper trenches in areas prone to heavy wind. Shelters for cold camping. Shelter is an important consideration when cold camping. While survival shelters like snow caves, quinzees, branch lean-tos can be used, they require a lot of time and effort to build. Depending on the conditions, it may not always be feasible to construct one. That's why portable, lightweight shelters are the go-to choice for cold campers. These can be as simple as floorless tents or tarps.
Floorless tents. When camping in sub-freezing temperatures, you don't need a fabric floor in your tent. In fact, a floor can be a liability because it collects all the snow and moisture from your gear. Instead, many cold campers opt for floorless tents. These provide protection from wind and snow while allowing body heat from your sleeping bag to do the work of keeping you warm. A tarp or bivy bag is often used to protect the sleeping bag from snow, especially underneath where it can melt. The main advantages of a floorless tent are its weight and simplicity. There's no need for a heavy, bulky floor, and the space is versatile. When tucked into the bush out of the wind, you can leave the door open to help the frost escape, and when the weather turns sour, just zip it up for protection. Tarps. On a budget, a tarp can be just as effective for cold camping if you know how to rig it properly. Without the need for poles, you can use a ridgeline to suspend the tarp above the ground and set up camp. A tarp is best used when tucked away in the bush, out of the wind, to maximize warmth and shelter. You'll need plenty of guy lines and long ridge lines, but with good rigging, it can serve you well in the wilderness, the heart of cold camping. Open fires. There's something primal about the act of building and tending a fire. As humans, we're drawn to fire. It's in our bones. When cold camping, you'll spend a lot of time close to the fire, so it's essential to have proper clothing that resists sparks and embers. Avoid synthetic fabrics near the fire, as they're prone to melting and burning through. Well-maintained fire serves multiple purposes: warmth, cooking, and drying your clothes. But there's a delicate balance to strike. Too big a fire requires constant wood gathering, and you'll have to sit further back to avoid the heat. Fire that's too small won't provide enough warmth or drying power. The key is finding a fire that's just the right size for comfort and efficiency. Cook and heat water on the same fire, and once everyone is hydrated and fed, you can adjust the fire for drying clothes. The best part? Every time you gather wood, cut it, or split it, you're heating yourself. The process itself is just as beneficial as the fire's warmth. A word on firewood. Gathering wood for a fire can be a lot of work, but it's also incredibly rewarding. You'll want to gather your wood above the snow line. Snow-covered wood is often frozen and difficult to work with. A good practice is to stack wood close by and only cut pieces as needed. That way, you'll always have wood available when you start to feel a chill. If you're fortunate enough to have leftover wood when you leave your campsite, always stack it neatly against a tree. Not only does this prevent waste, but it also shows respect for the land. Fellow traveler might come across your stash and appreciate your foresight. In conclusion, cold camping is a unique and rewarding way to experience the wilderness in winter. With minimal gear, solid understanding of fire building, and a deep respect for nature, cold camping offers an experience that can't be matched by the comforts of a hot tent. So grab your gear, embrace the cold, and head out into the wild to see what winter camping is really about.